Find your path with the knowledge of others and become an illuminator for those who struggle. Guide their way just by being true and being in alignment, because it comes naturally to you. On self-discovery wisdom, we share to find inspiration with lessons for millions. We hope you listen.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Eco Solutions right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. I'm your host, Sarah Troy, and my wonderful guest, who was with me 8 years ago, we can't believe it was so long ago, 8.5 actually, is Peshang Hama Karim. He was a young man starting out with a passion under his belt for ecology, for bringing something to his country that desperately needed. And he's still got that passion. And what we're going to be talking about is, an update from 2018 to 26. What has changed and what is he doing with his life now? Well, he has a philosophy that comes from a point where we realize peace isn't something we find, it's something we choose. Without it, we live in reaction, division, and exhaustion. And with it, we begin to respond with awareness, patience, and intention. Harmony grows from that peace. It doesn't mean we all agree, but we learn to live aside one another with understanding. Respect comes from that bridge, seeing each other's value, listening without judgment, and allowing space for different journeys. And from this way, responsibility awakens. We begin to see that this earth is not just where we live, it's a shared home, where we care for one another, where we naturally begin to care for the planet. Peace within, harmony with others, respect for life, lead us to protect what sustains us all. And Peshang holds a PhD in environmental sciences, majoring in hydrology in the University of Warsaw. He's currently working as an events manager with the Climate High-Level Champions. He previously worked with the World Meteorology Organization and SOCO's government hydraulic program. He's a prolific writer. He has contributed significantly to scientific disclose of climate issues with publications, and he's been a speaker for the COP27, COP30 conferences, co-founding the, I'm not quite sure how you pronounce it,
Jingadosti, yeah.
Environmental organization from his country, which reflects his commitment to local environmental action. His dedication extends organizing events like UN conferences, and he organized the regional conference of youth in the Asia Pacific region back in 2022. He's also one of the organizers for the regional conference in youth for Eastern Europe, Warsaw back in 23, and in UN Water Conference and UN Quarter, New York, showcasing his commitment to shaping a sustainable future for all generations to share. It's a delight to have you back here, my dear.
Thank you, Sarah. It's really nice meeting you again and having you. So thank you so much for all the passions and all your successful stories that you publish. You bring people to your show, showcase them to the world. Thank you and huge congratulations.
Oh, thank you very much. Coming up to 14 years now of podcasting and sharing the illumination. And, kind of what reminds me is that you were a young man when I interviewed you back in 2018, and you were wearing a suit. And I later find out that the temperature's really high, and you're absolutely boiling in this suit. Today, you've learned to be more casual, more at ease. Kudos to you.
Definitely. It was my first international interview in English, so it was really stressful for me, but it went well. I was satisfied.
And it's had a lot of listenership, which of course people can come back and listen to that show. And his conviction and the passion for your country and what you're wanting to bring to your country to modernize it, but at the same time bring that equality, that eco solution to the balance that we need. And you are earth driven, aren't you? For you, it is about, this earth is a gift to us all. It is all of our families. It's our home. And we really need to step up in respecting it. But if we're going to live as humans here, we're very, very demanding on earth. And there's things that we need to do that kind of treats earth with respect, but also I think in a reflection kind of shows respect for ourselves as well, because the two must marry together, mustn't they?
Yeah, yeah, definitely. So basically, the main idea here, the phenomenon is that whatever we do in life, we do it for the sake of sustainability of
Hmm.
our like economic sustainability of my economy, sustainability of my family. That's why we marry, we
Hmm.
reproduce, we become grandma, grandpa.
Yes.
And huge congratulations,
Yes,
Sarah.
three
I really
grandboys since I
admire
last
you.
saw you. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, I really admire you that you do all this work plus you dedicate half of your time taking care of your grandsons and
Balance.
daughters. So yeah, balancing it. So huge congratulations, huge
Thank you.
work. So whatever we do in life, we do it for the sake of sustainability and food.
Hmm.
And but taking care of everything is dealing with taking care of the earth. If we don't have it, if we don't have that safe future,
Yes.
that safe environment, then having the money does not make anything. We all heard about Pablo Escobar's burning
Hmm.
money story that because his children were really cold, so he was burning his dollars for the sake of their children to just get warm. In that moment, burning the money was the best thing for Pablo Escobar to do. That's why
Yeah.
he did it. So
Yeah.
the phenomena says that if we don't have a safe, sustainable future in Earth, then all other matters does not
No.
matter. So that's why we need to protect our future. We need to protect our next generation, and the best case scenario for do it is protecting the nature now. So that was
Mm.
the idea, and keep going.
No, we're right on track here, absolutely. And I think, what we're looking at right now is an imbalance with so many billion and trillionaires that are just raping and pillaging Earth for its resources to make them richer and more powerful, and which we know is a reflection of their own inner insecurity and smallness. Um, but that's another topic. But at some point, I think the pendulum is going to swing back when we, the people, start respecting what Earth gives us and we start replenishing Earth or allowing Earth to replenish itself and not just pillaging all the time, then we will actually understand the abundance that Earth gives us, which enriches our lives. But we've got to get it in the right sequence, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. When I think about this theory, the old Asian tribes come to my mind. So
Mm-hmm.
they were believing in having several gods. So
Mm-hmm.
we have the god of beauty, god of like flood, and god of fruit, food, and water. So when there's flooding, they say that okay, god of sea is upset of us, so we need to make some sacrifice. So when something nature treats them in a bad way, immediately they think that okay, we did something bad to nature. That's why now we need to balance that.
Yeah.
Even though the belief may not be true,
Mm-hmm.
but the phenomena, how they treated the problem was really true. That we did something wrong to nature, then we need to make it right. We need to
Right.
sacrifice something. We need
Not
but
necessarily people.
not necessarily people, but the phenomena was right. Okay, we
Yeah.
need to sacrifice like our way of treating life,
Mm.
our
Mm-hmm.
our our way of having doing exercise in our daily life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, having the comfort coming out from the comfort zones that we have. So those are sacrifices that people do in their life. Why?
Mm.
For the sake of nature. Why? Because nature is mad on us. So I think we can treat it like that. And I'm pretty sure that whatever is happening now in the world will not long last. Today we had a session while I was in with my colleagues, and the exercise was what your heart tells you, what your mind tells you.
Mm-hmm.
Then I was thinking about that. My heart tells me that all the humanitarian works like UN system, peace, prosperity, harmony, okay, they are all falling.
Mm.
Why? Because there are some geopolitical problems in the world, some tensions everywhere. innocent people are dying for the sake of
Yes.
nothing. So,
Mm.
and and this tells us that something is not right here. Okay,
Yes.
come on, let's just stop for a minute and think about it. And then so my heart tells me that so there's no hope. Okay, if we look at right or left, we see the pupils who are now leaders in the world. And when we look at them, when we look at their consequences, we can see that, oh my God, it's not going in a right direction.
Mm.
But then my mind tells me, okay, we as human beings, we have surpassed World War One, World War Two, all the
Mm.
UN systems and the harmony in Europe, which we see now, came after World War Two. So even though World War Two, for more than 20 million people died, okay?
Hmm.
So we as human being, we are integrated. Our mindset is integrated in a way that we can build a better future out of ashes and stones.
No.
So
No.
today, today we are in a bad situation. Whatever we feel about future, we should think about that. Everything will be right. Whatever is happening now in the world is temporary. It
Yes.
won't long last. So we need to keep the spirit. We need to educate new generations. Okay, whatever you do, it's really important and holistic that you are teaching, you are educating, you are raising your grandson, grandchildren to just for the sake that they be a good person. They spread the positive
Mm.
energy in the world, and we need to continue on that. In some point, this will stop, and then the
Yes.
reconstruction, reclamation,
Mm.
remediation starts everywhere. And there, at this point, we need intelligent, smart
Compassionate.
people, passionate people who just focus on the future and who focus on sailing the boat into the right island and
I
right
agree with you.
destination.
What we feed will grow. You
Exactly.
feed hate, you feed fear, you are feeding their control. We feed compassion, we feed hope, we feed possibilities, collaboration, we feed kindness and caring and love. We see that grow. And I know it's very hard in a world where we just see these opulence and these egos creating a war after war and devastation after devastation to feed their ego
Yeah.
at the expense of humanity. Well, we know that when you turn something too tight for too long, it's going to spring's
Great.
going to bust. And
Yeah.
you know what they're doing right now is they're pushing and they're pushing the envelope more, more, more. And that spring is going to break. And when it does, that is when our positive energy, our loving energy, our kind and compassion, our collaborative energy needs to come together to show that there is a way forward where we can live in harmony and in our differences, right? We can all thrive. And this is the way of the future. Because what we're seeing right now, and the reason why we're seeing so many of these dictators and oligarchs, etc., so in our face, is that for us to be aware, it's always been there. But
Yeah.
now that it's so in our face, it's now time for us to clean it up and to pave a different path. And there was a very interesting thing. Tyson Dilgrees, the scientist, I can't remember his surname.
Mhm.
Somebody asked him a question about Star Trek. I don't know if you're a Star Trek fan, but they were talking about Star Trek Academy, this new series they have. It was a very intelligent question from this gentleman when he said, how come so many species on this earth at this time in Star Trek can live so harmoniously together and nobody's hungry and nobody's greedy, nobody's, seeking that power. Everybody is respect with each other. And how come, is there ever any hope that we can get there? And he pointed out two things. One, money wasn't an issue. Everybody could have what they needed, right? Housing, this clothing, this and that. Everybody got what they needed because there wasn't this higher and lower hierarchy of money. Also, the replicator, because if I've got an orange, it's not a question whether I'm going to share it with you, I'm going to hold it to myself. It's that I can just replicate you an orange too.
Yeah.
And
True.
the thing is, that kind of technology is out there in the future where everybody, but when we start looking at humanity and saying basic needs like a roof over your head, food in your stomach, health and education, we start seeing the root of all that is possible and creative to take us to elevation to the next level. But we've got to stop the imbalance of the trillion of billionaires controlling everything and get back to harnessing and supporting our communities, empowering our communities, because that's where the root of possibilities truly grow.
Yeah, yeah, very, very, very well said. And I totally agree with that. You know what? In life, whatever we fight for, we fight for having a better life
Yes.
for our children, for the
Mhm.
next generation. So we are in a resilience mode
Yeah.
in our daily life. Resilience to heat, to in Canada to snow. So,
We didn't have snow at all. In the first
oh
time in
my,
43 years, no snow where
oh
we
my
in
God.
our province.
Oh my God, oh my God. It was really cold this year in Poland. So,
No, not
uh,
here. We had the opposite, warmest winter.
oh my God, oh my God. So, we get used to those things in life, but and we gain resilience
Yeah.
to them. The only important point is my benchmark. What's my
Hmm.
benchmark? So if I have an identity, okay, and what's my benchmark for my identity? So it's really good to have this compass and this
Mm.
benchmark, so that whenever you lose the road, you
Yeah.
can just look back and
Hmm.
say that this was me and this is the road. I need to be me and I need to be on my road.
Hmm.
So in my opinion, the problematic thing in life is that sometimes we lose that compass and we lose the way. We don't know what we fight for.
Mm.
Okay. Uh, I remember that one of the billionaires that now is one of the top billionaires in the world. The main idea of this person was that I want to create a better life for humanity. Okay, but now when you look at the consequences of that person, of the companies, you can see that this person definitely changed the objective of life,
Mm.
changed the compass. It's not the person that wanted to do that.
Right.
So this
Shareholders.
shareholders, and
Mm.
I read an article stating that the least taxpayers in the world are the most rich
Yes.
people in the world, and
Yes.
the giant companies.
Yes.
So they barely pay
Just tax
taxes.
them and we'll resolve a lot of problems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, definitely. So, so this is really important in my life, and I believe in that. We
Mm.
we always need to have this check and balance, even for
Yes.
our car that we
Yeah.
drive. We
Yes.
should we should have a yearly control of our car, okay, to see that if everything looks fine, is there any problem in this car? Should we change anything in this car so that it functions as it need to be function?
Hmm.
So, but when it comes to human being, we don't see this.
No,
This is, uh, and we hear this word so much that the new generation does not read books,
I know.
that that does not try to improve their self,
No, the
to
headliners.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
No
this is this
content.
is this is
Mm.
what we hear, and this is really important that we need to dedicate some times to educate the new generation in that manner, so that
Mm.
they don't lose themselves when they become rich, they don't lose hope when they become poor,
Hmm.
and when they are in a steady mode, they don't get used to that mode. So
Yes.
it's important
Complacency.
to
Hmm.
latency. So it's really important to move in this direction.
100%. It's quite disconcerting to see this generation because everything has become kind of the emoji, the headline, the meme, and there isn't the deeper conversation. There isn't the deeper inquiry. There isn't the deeper wondrousness and
Yeah,
adventure because everything and what they're doing, it's like their mind is living on junk food and they're not being nourished. right? They're not getting the nourishment and the nutrients that they need in order for that mind to be inquiring and to be hungry for knowledge. And unfortunately, these are our future leaders. What will they lead us into if they don't have any context or content on life itself? And we've done that disservice. A little plug here. 2 years ago, I put out a book called Our Forgotten Children. And it's an anthology around the raising of our children and the systems that are letting them down. And, there's just 15 chapters there. There's so many more to address. But I do think that we need to take it back to the home front. Help the families, help the community, teach the children how to farm, how to fish. In Japan, children in school make their own meals. They're the janitors. They learn to respect. In North America, they expect everything to be done for them. And there isn't the respect, there isn't the value, there isn't the gratitude. There's a huge amount of lackitude. And they feel they're in lack all the time and they're blaming everyone else. Because I
Exactly.
don't have this and I don't have that. And really the lackitude comes from is the heart and soul. And wisdom is craving for knowledge, which they're not feeding. And that's the disservice that we've done to them. They're already seeing that children that are living on their tablets all the time, it literally changes the neurons in their brain and how they learn and how they process. And they need to be their own little computer as they grow up, right? To
Yeah.
work out problems, to devise things. And then when it comes time to using the computer, they know that it is a tool and not a substitute for them. So there's a lot of things we've done wrong, but there's a lot of things knowing that we can put right, but we've got to do it at the root of the community level.
Yeah, definitely. When I look at the history, I see the generation who are in between like 2000, the early 2000 until 2020. They really they were born in a really really bad s- world scenario because we were in the digitalization revolution,
Yes.
and which it was really impactful for everyone, not even for children, for the grown-ups. They always like to spend time more on social media, on the phone,
Hmm.
try to be in the virtual reality than
Yes.
the actual reality
Hmm.
that they have. And they don't know that this is wrong for them.
Hmm.
But after 2020 and pandemic had a huge impact on this. After that period, parents start to have more time with their children,
Yeah.
and then I see that now. I have many friends who they have children, and they put very very nice restrictions. Not just don't do that, don't do that. They
Hmm.
they found substitutes.
Boundaries.
Yeah, they found substitutes. So
Hmm.
I won't let you play with your tablet, but let's do this play together. So
Hmm.
so they found a solution because now there's a knowledge that this will destroy your mind, and
Yes.
the number of the sickness and the illnesses that the technology brings with the depression
Hmm.
and all other sickness,
Anxiety. Hmm.
yeah, anxiety, etc., etc. It is too much, and
Hmm.
now the parents are all aware of this. So I have many friends who say they have newborn children that whenever we are at home, and so we should not touch our phone, we should
Yeah.
not do anything, so that the child does not see this and does not raise with this. So this awareness was important for us, but in before it wasn't like that. So
No.
I think that this will improve, and we should find substitutes for people are not reading books, long books, but we should find like some short
Yes.
pills,
Get them
like a pill.
engaged.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So that they engage, and because in a certain point we need to educate
Yeah.
the generation, because as you said that they will be the leaders of the
Mm.
world.
Yeah. And what
So
kind of leaders will they be if they haven't got the tools, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
This is the question, and but I'm really I'm really feeling good and hope. Really hope for the generation because you know what, Sarah? Previously, the dictators were telling people about fake news, and everyone was believing them because they were the
Mm,
only source of news.
right.
But now, no, there's a
Yeah.
fact checker for everything, so
Yes.
you cannot convince, you cannot
You
convince the
choose
community.
ignorance now. You choose
Yeah,
ignorance. The
yeah,
truth is there.
exactly,
You just got to look for it. But if you are buying
exactly.
that, you're choosing ignorance. And it's like, oh, I don't want to make a choice. That is a choice.
Yeah,
Right?
that's a choice. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And a lot of this, I think, is coming back to self-accountability. And you know what? The all the social medias and everything have done, and also the consumerism. It has painted Tinseltown. I will only be happy
Mhm.
when I look like this, when I have this amount of followers, when I've bought this latest gadget, when I've bought this latest this, and then I will be happy. And with 3,000 shows under my belt over the last 14 years, the common denominator for people is when they've stopped buying that crap and they have
Mhm.
started to say, I have looked everywhere on the outside for inner happiness. And then I finally got the cosmic 2x4 and I turned my eyes in. And I realized that all the happiness lay within. But what I had to do was deprogram everything that I had been taught that does not serve me, deprogram the trauma, deprogram the lackitude, deprogram this programming saying that you've got to have. And it takes a little while to go through that journey of the deprogramming to start to truly see yourself as the beautiful gift that you are and what you're truly here to do. But those that choose to take the journey and come out the other side, say every single step was worth it, even how painful. And I put it in the same analogy of having a child. You have 9 months of carrying a child. You go through morning sickness, your back aches, your ankles are swelling, you've got this big belly in front of you, and then you give birth, which is painful, very, very
Yeah.
painful. But the moment that child is put in your arms and that heart to heart of that child on your chest, everything's forgotten. It is now just love, right? And, I had terrible pregnancies, and people used to say to me, why did you do it again? And for me, it was always because of the end result. I
Mm.
knew I had to suffer to get the joy. And I think if we understand there is a struggle, but it doesn't have to be suffering. And in that struggle to discover who we are, what our contribution is to this planet, what our contribution is to each other, what we're here to share and be, that illumination of what light we are is so worth any of the struggle in that discovery.
Yeah, definitely, definitely, very, very well said. And in this is the only spirit that keeps us. That at the end we will be having happiness. And this is what we fight for in life. So basically, I want to have a family. Why? My
Mm,
demands increase because I need to look at my wife. I need
mm,
to have a house, then buy her like luxuries and etc. But why? Because at the end there is happiness in it.
mm,
I want to have children because at the end there's happiness. I want to
mm,
have more money because there's happiness. So everything in life based on the consequences and why we are doing it. And when we see that at the end there's happiness in it, and at the end we will be happy, then people are really doing it.
yeah.
But in terms of the climate, coming back to that topic, is that we don't see the ends. We think that it's not in our hands. So basically, we really don't are not convinced that we are the problem. This is the main issue. We see that this is some natural thing, and
Which there's
it
natural versus our,
yeah
our
and
contribution to
yeah and
taking it another
anthropogenic,
way.
yeah,
Yeah,
anthropogenic. So this is what we think. That's why we don't see the happiness after it. But we
right.
as a scientist in the climate area, we say that, okay, come on, all the global warming happening because of the human anthropogenic greenhouse gas emission
Mm,
increase in the atmosphere.
yeah.
That's why this is all happening. So it's simple mathematics and physics. If we reduce the amount of the greenhouse gases in the atmosphere, then everything will be back to normal. So, but then another question comes in. Okay, how much should I pay? So,
Hmm.
here comes the question. Okay, then another very logical thought is that polluters pay. If you pollute, you should pay. This is
Yes.
the main rule. Then you say, okay, how much should I pay? Then again, the same question comes. Then when you say that you should pay that amount of money because you pollute that, then oh, this is against my policy. Then people step back in it because they don't see the happiness what you are
Yes.
referring to
Yeah.
in it because they see pain in it. Why? Because I should pay for it, but
Right.
they don't see, and this is the middle ground. They don't see the destination, which is that if you pay that, if all of us pays what we have
Yes.
polluted, then what will be the end line of this? Having a normal life when people are not dying from heat waves,
Yeah.
then people are not dying from typhoons, cyclones happening around the world, especially Northern America, Florida,
Hmm.
California, all those regions. Then people will not lose lives, thousands and thousands of lives. Just in a year, around 600,000 people die because of the air pollution.
All right. Mm.
600,000 people. No, I don't think that this number is being killed during a war.
Right.
When we give those facts, okay, they come to a point. Yes, true, but
I know. What I say about that but is sit on it, right?
yeah,
Because there is no but.
yeah,
There is consequence, there is accountability, there is responsibility, right? Like I live here in British Columbia in Canada, and we have had some horrific fires in the last few years and
yeah.
some
I know.
atmospheric rivers that have just wiped things out. We've had two towns that have been obliterated through fires, right? And we've had a farming valley that was completely obliterated through an atmospheric river. Part of it, yes, is the natural order of nature. It goes through its cycle. But what we've done is we've gone and pushed the button on speeding, escalating everything. Now we can work with Mother Nature and what she needs to do. And again, I've done these shows on migrants that have left their countries because there's no water. There's
Water,
no
yeah,
food, right? And we're going to see this more and more. Look at California, which is having one hell of a problem. What do you do with the 40 million people there? Where do they go? Right? So,
yeah,
what we need to do is there is so much science and so much innovation on solutions on what we can do, what we're empowered to do. We, the consumer, can take less showers, right? We could
yeah,
be more mindful on when we're watering the garden or washing the car. We could be more mindful when we leave the tap running. We could be more mindful on, the processed food. We could be more mindful on many things. And at the same time, put the money with the scientists that have come up with innovations that helps our planet sustain us, right? And we've got various people out there right now. Bill Gates, one of them, Musk is another, and a few other of them. Let's just obliterate a lot of the human race, and then we'll have less problem. That is not the answer. Invest in the human race and the planet equally, and we will see a balance harmoniously. There are so many, like every day you see a young person in their teens that has come up with an innovation, a
yeah, true.
scientific innovation. Why are we not saying, God, look at that mind? Look at the way they look. Let's pour the money behind them to see what else they can do. Right? Instead, we go and put it in war, and we go and put it in another billionaire's pocket. The
Defense systems.
we have that imbalance has to go. We have to find that equilibrium. There is always an answer. Are we willing to ask the question, and then in the response to the answer, are we willing to give up some of our comforts in order to find that balance and that sustainability. We don't have to give it all up, but just
Yeah.
maybe we have to stop being so opulent with it.
Yeah, so basically, you know what? When so now most of the budget of the country is now, according to due to the wars in the regions and across the world, the countries are now spending more and more money on defense systems. They
Yes.
are they are upgrading their defense system. Why? To protect to protect their home from foreign
Yes.
enemies. So this
And
is
we
the
know who the
main point.
foreign enemy is right
Yeah.
now. Who's
So
spending $1 billion a day on a unsanctioned war? What could that
yeah,
$1 billion do for its own
do.
people? Right?
So basically, the idea is that I am protecting my people, my land from foreign enemies. Okay.
Hmm.
So I say that I totally agree with you. Do that. It's your right. But there's one but here. Why don't you do the same when the nature attacks you? What did you
Yes.
invest?
Yeah.
So cyclones are attacking you, heat waves are
Yes.
attacking you, air pollution is attacking you. So
Yes.
what do you do to protect your people, your land from
Hmm.
it? Have you made any investment in it? And the answer is no, unfortunately. Or
No,
very, very less, just to make show like in the
it
conference
looks
that
good. Yeah.
yeah, we are in making progress in
Right.
it, etc. So I believe that the mindset now, I don't see that we have lack of ignorance, as you said. Now everyone in the world knows climate change. Even
No.
even Donald Trump knows climate change,
Right.
but they choose to stay
Exactly.
in that way because this
La
is their
la la la
benefit.
la la la.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I don't want to know if you're asking me to change my lifestyle.
yeah,
Like on meat alone, organic farming is one thing, but this
yeah,
manufacturing farming, the methane gas that comes off that, the amount of water that is used to make your burger, right,
yeah,
is just proportionally ridiculous. Never mind the pain and suffering of those animals. And we've also got to understand that if we are killing an animal that's in such high distress, those hormones is in those meat. Now you're eating that meat of high distress, and I do believe, and hopefully there's a scientist that can correlate this one day, that that is being transferred over to the human. And what we're
yeah,
seeing is humans become the anxiety of humans right now, the anger of humans right now. Yes, part of it is politically driven, but also it just seems to have escalated because people are so unhappy with themselves. And some of the times they don't know why, what's driving them. And I think very much look at your diet.
yeah. Sarah, just it came to my mind that I have a friend who's working in chicken industry.
Mm-hmm.
And here, I don't know, in Canada, I think it's the same. When you buy eggs, there are several type of eggs.
Yes.
Egg of the chickens who are maneuvering around an
Yeah.
upper farm,
Organic. Yeah.
organic ones, and
Free range
free
eggs. Yes.
range. Yeah, 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 yeah. So so they are categorized. And if it's not even free range, there are certain type of chickens who are raised in an environment with like calm, not stressed environment
Yeah.
in product. And I said that. So what's the difference? How this is an animal?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it cannot understand. So what's the second? He said no, Peshang. It makes huge difference in the
Yes.
taste of the meat.
Exactly. Exactly. Exactly.
So
Love to have him
yeah.
on. Love to have him on.
So
uh,
if the chicken was in a stressed environment,
yes,
the chicken tries to stretch, and in that mode, so the meat won't be so tasty. That
exactly.
that was that was his testimony about it. So I would say that if this is the case, definitely you're right.
And my daughter and her husband and the family, the three boys, they're completely vegan. I'm 80% there. I've still got that 20%. Obviously, I was bored up on meat, but yeah, don't touch my veggies. I don't mind sacrificing my meat, but don't touch my veggies. Um, but it's amazing here, especially in North America and various other parts of the world, where veggies are just like a dirty word. And yet
Yeah.
they carry so many nutrients, so many enzymes and everything else that we need. We do not need meat. And if we, yes, there are just meat eating countries that just, well, we've always had it that way. Just because we've always done it that way doesn't mean we need to always continue to do it that way. What we need to do is just pause, pause. Everybody's on the same clock, but pause and kind of look at your life. You've always done it this way. Your family always did it that way. Your country's always done it that way, but is it serving you? Where is your health? Where's your mental health? Where's the earth's health? Where is your environment health? All of that, we need to look at it and go, maybe this is time that instead of doing the same old, we need to look at other options. And nobody's saying you need to take a leap. Just take a first step.
Yeah.
Inquire, start reading, start looking, start listening, and start paying attention. And you one pivot. Okay, I'm going to have an all vegetable diet 1 day a week. Or I'm going to take less showers, or I'm not going to wash my car every day. There's something that if every single people cut back by 10%, look at how much impact that would have.
Yeah, definitely. I totally agree with you. So basically, here there's a wrong idea about it. Veganism is that okay? So the idea is that not everyone needs to be 100% vegan,
Right,
but
exactly. Yeah.
so it's a matter of choice. Okay, but we are telling the people that a diabetic person normally that person was allowed to have sugar,
Hmm.
like to eat sweets, etc. But
And so much
since
sugar in all the processed
yeah, yeah,
food,
yeah, yeah.
right? Yeah.
Since that person has some illness problem, then and the problem is diabetics, then that person cannot have sugar in anything at
Hmm.
all. Okay, and this person accept that. I have
Yeah.
many friends who are diabetics and they don't they stopped using sugar on almost everything and
Yeah.
they are continuing their life. So
Exactly.
now we are as human being, we are all are sick and the sickness is
Hmm.
that we should consume less meat in that matter because the amount of the methane gas is and the problem of methane gas scientifically, Sarah, is that it lasts longer in the
Mm.
atmosphere.
Yes.
So we are talking about the carbon dioxide as a main source of the greenhouse gas in the
Mm.
atmosphere, which is now around 440 parts per million in the atmosphere. But the carbon dioxide, the lifespan of a carbon dioxide is 1 year. So
Wow.
that carbon dioxide stays in the atmosphere for 1 year, okay, then disappears, evaporates. But for methane gas, the lifespan is from 15 to 25 years.
Wow.
So the methane gas stays longer in the atmosphere. So this is the problem. The portion of methane gas is less, but it lasts longer. So that's why
Hmm.
it makes so much change. The cows especially make a huge factor. The open dumps and the landfills have a huge uh, contagious process in producing the methane gas. So yeah, I totally agree. No, not everyone needs to be vegan, but we need to start walking with just one step. Personally, I had a diesel car before because it was cheap and I didn't
Hmm.
have that much of money, so I bought
Hmm.
that car. But then I said that, come on, this hurts the environment. Now I have a hybrid car.
Yeah.
It helps nature, and I aim to have electrics one day if I afford that. And I try whenever I go to the city center, I never use my car. I always use public
Hmm.
transport. So whenever if the place is nearby, I try to walk or make cycles. With my wife, and now when summer season comes, cycling is really nice. You
Hmm.
spend some time with your family, and you could come go to another place with bicycle. So and you consume less carbon dioxide. So this is a choice. I find happiness in doing this. That's why I'm
Yes.
doing it. But
But,
if
but,
I
but it's
find that,
also, you find healthiness in it as well.
yeah,
You find
definitely.
connectiveness in it as well. You're also a part of the community in doing it, whether you're walking or riding your bike. You stop somewhere for a coffee or you meet people along the way. We see these pictures going up on social media or looking at people in the 70s and the 60s, and we didn't see obesity. And why are we
Yeah.
seeing so much obesity today? Well, there's several fold. Number one, so much sugar in everything you eat. The cereal, the this, the that, sugar, fructose. They name it so many things you don't know what it is. You're looking for sugar label. It doesn't say that it's futurist, some name you
Yeah, some
can't pronounce, right?
scientifically.
And it is something that is really, really
Yeah.
bad for you. It stays in your body and it just expands on you because it's what we used to call central aisle shopping, right? Because it's not fresh. Um, and so that has caused a great deal of obesity. The other thing is people are getting in their cars and just going around the corner instead of walking around the corner. We were, since the beginning of time, designed to walk where we needed to go. Long journeys took a carriage. And now we've become lazy and we're in a car just to pop around the corner instead of walking around the corner. And another part of that is we don't allot the time to go and
Yeah.
do this. It's like you fill your day with so much, I don't have time to go walk around the corner or nip over, right? Well, why don't you rearrange your day that you are going, I just need to pop to the grocery store for a couple of things. I'm going to walk over there and I'm going to allot that amount of time to do so. All of these type of steps are not only good for you mentally, physically, but they're good for the environment. And then when you're at
Yeah.
that grocery store, make sure you are buying foods that aren't processed, haven't got pesticides on them.
Yeah. Bio.
Know your
Yeah.
companies. Do Google it. Which companies use pesticide? Which doesn't that? Make a list. Go to the grocery store. Oh, I'm not buying that company where they're known for chemicals. So again, going back to choice, right? Get
Yeah.
educated on what choices are better for you and your planet.
True. And you know what? Uh, if everyone starts to think and process their lifespan and accordingly, then what happens? The economy around us changes accordingly.
Exactly.
Those
Exactly.
companies transform, shift toward the
Yes.
sustainable
Yes.
farming, and then because if they don't do, they will end up like what Nokia happened. So one
Mm-hmm.
of the biggest mobile company in the world now, okay, bankrupt. Why? Because they didn't
They didn't
adapt
adapt,
to
like Motorola and
adapt.
all of that. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, definitely. So it's a matter of choice and awareness. I think this is really important. Before 1 month, I gave a lecture about how to save the planet to primary students in a school here in Warsaw, and they were really passionate about how should I protect the Earth. Okay, and they were really having nice ideas, and I think this is the level that we need to work on it. And I told them that you know what, when you eat, I think in a supermarket, try to ask your mama and or dad what this product was made of. Is there
Mm,
any like pesticide, as you said, that or any chemicals that hurts the environment or not? Okay,
or me.
if
Yeah.
yeah, if that children ask their father and mother
Yes.
this question, then their father and mother try so
Mm-hmm.
the education
Mm-hmm.
continues
Mm-hmm.
in that matter. I think we all need that knowledge, Sarah.
I 100% agree. And, it's the same with reading books. And, again, I interview an awful lot of children's authors. And when you've got a book that it's to bring awareness to the child, but you're bringing a reminder awareness to the person reading it to the child, right? So the adult, the grandparent, whatever, is like, oh, yeah, 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 I need to be a bit more aware of that. All right. And this is the thing is that our children should have a voice. It's pure. It hasn't
Yeah,
got an agenda, right? Unless we teach them about agenderism, which again, we've got to be careful of that. But it's like, let's show respect to them on their voice. You know,
Yeah, this
what's on the label, Mum? You know, names I can't pronounce. Well, until we know what they are, let's put it down, right?
yeah,
Let's respect the child. What we're doing is we're empowering the child to be inquisitive. We're empowering the child to question. And we know this for a fact. When we consume something, a lot of it, and we stop consuming it because of that, because we're holding them accountable, what happens? They don't adjust, they disappear. It's the same with government. No government makes rules and laws. Those rules and laws come from the pressure of the public. When the public demands the change, when the public demands that. Again, I've interviewed an awful lot of parents of autistic children. They were told to just go and put their child in an institution and go and have another. And instead, they say, no, I'm going to raise my child. I'm going to find other people with autistic children. We're going to create a group, a platform where we can educate each other. And they have been the ones to change the way autism is looked at. We, the
yeah.
people, have the power. Don't wait for government or industries to change. We can make them change by our own pressure of demanding that change.
Yeah, but we're very well said, and I never agree this with you because the 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 problem, Sarah, is that everyone waits for the government to make change. Okay, oh,
Yes,
my government is against the climate change, so there's nothing I can do. There's so much thing you can
so
do.
many things.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, so many things you can do. So starting by having a more sustainable life and
Hmm.
try to educate the people, try to find what, as you said, a platform so
Mm.
you can find the people who are thinking in your way. Then have a project, implement those projects in life. So basically, and with this, with all these matters, then you create a change. Just let me
Mm.
tell you a story that after my interview with you, we started a movement in my country, and what was called Jinga Dosti organization. It was not an organization; it was just a movement
Hmm.
that we said that our people are using the Facebook platform so much in my country. So let's get the leverage of Facebook. Let's create a Facebook group, and we increase the social awareness from there.
Hmm.
Then we were publishing very nice pictures, videos, awareness materials. Then until in like 3 months, 50,000 people
Yes.
in a small like 5 million population land
Hmm.
joined those group, and it was a massive explosion of social awareness
Yes.
for the environment. In like 1 year, it became 100,000, Sarah.
Mm.
And you know what happened? It was just like we were like five people
Yeah.
trying to do a
Yes.
change in my home
Yes.
country, and we made very very nice projects. One of them, I'm really proud to share this, that we announced a campaign for reserving, protecting, and documenting the old trees in my home
Yes.
country,
Hmm.
and trees like having a lifespan of 800 years,
Yes.
500, 600 years.
Yes.
So we put a label, this tree is protected, and this is recorded and documented. So this is our natural resource. We should keep it. And it became a very very powerful message in the community, that because people in my community were like cutting trees because it's cold in winter, and the
Hmm.
government is not providing sufficient oil and gas, so they cut trees.
You're right.
So we teach them a way that if you want to cut trees, try to have like sustainable. So try to plant trees and then
Hmm.
cut the others, so that
Right.
this cycle continues. And but not cut do not cut the old trees that
Right.
that we have.
Respect.
Respect. And we announced another campaign was the greenest house, a house, not in the region, the Kurdistan region. And no matter how big your house were, we were counting the ratio, how much green area ratio you have in your house. 50%, 60%.
Hmm.
Your house can be like 10 meters, okay? Or 1000 meters. It doesn't
Hmm.
matter. We count the ratio. And it continued for like 5, 6 years. So we invested in educating a generation in the home country, and many people were is now leading in that manner. They created their own organizations, and they made environment one of their main subject in the schools, in the communities,
Excellent.
which I'm really proud of it. And even
Very.
even
Well, that's what
even,
I said.
even
You really, since the 8 years since I've been interviewed you, you've been really
yeah,
moving and shaking out there. You showed your passion. And I know that you were in Warsaw because many people would not have you in their university, and because of the country
yeah,
that you
yeah,
come
yeah, yeah.
from. And but now, of course, you've made it your home. But of course, your home is still something that you still fight and strive for. And that's the thing is, I have a saying: when you're aware, you care. When you care,
Yeah.
you do something about it. But one thing you can't be is unaware,
True, true. Very,
right?
very respect.
And the
Yeah.
thing is, when we're aware, let's share. Let's share what we're aware of. Let's have those conversations. People may feel uncomfortable. We don't come at them with angst, you got to.
Yeah.
It's like, are you aware that A, B, C, D, and E? And also, please, for God's sake, respect the scientists and their data. Respect the scientists and their data, right?
Yeah.
We've
Just
we've got certain, people and politicians, science is all a hoax. No, you cannot, and as certain scientists will say, science changes.
yeah.
This one thing, then something else comes up, and oh, okay. Now we look at it from a different angle. Now it's broadened it or deleted what we used to know, and it's opened up something else. But it's that inquisitive mind kind of, what is the real truth here?
Yeah. And speaking about science, I recently finished my PhD in at the University of Warsaw, and during preparation for finalizing my dissertation, my PhD dissertation, and getting passing the examination, the defense. I really respect the people who hold DR,
Yeah.
doctor. Okay,
Yes.
I really respect them because and I'm not counting the professors. Okay, the
Hmm.
other like levels, scientific levels, but I really respect because I really struggled a lot, Sarah, in
Mm.
finding a knowledge how to protect this. And my case study was like a drinking water in a artificial reservoir in Poland. So which they built the reservoir to provide fresh water for a city, but due to the climate change and the
Mm.
eutrophication, now they abandoned using that. And this case had multiplied by three in Poland now, and this is a matter of national security for Poland. So the idea here is that uh, when I studied a lot, trying to find the data, trying to find to the truth what's going on inside this reservoir, how can we solve, how can we treat it, and I was really tired of it, about it. But at the end, when you get to a solution, okay, you
Yes.
get to a solution. And what we hear about the scientists, especially the IPCC, the Intergovernmental Panel of of the climate change. And when they release a new book, let's respect it because
Yes.
a huge hell of work is
Yeah.
done behind
It's
it. I'm ready to,
dedication,
yeah,
dedication, and, tireless work and cross-examination. And then kind of even looking at, look at Hawkins. He came up with one thing and then go, hang on, I was wrong. Right.
yeah,
And it's like, take ego out of it because facts change or realization changes. Or you see things in a different light and it takes on a different picture altogether. But we have to respect the science. And those that don't respect the science are just not really wanting to take accountability or responsibility for anything. And we know that our water on this planet, and now we've got 20% of the world's water here in Canada, but we know that there's drinking water, basically only 1% of drinking water left. where ice packs are melting, right? And, we're using water left, right, and center. We need to put into how do we change our salt water into irrigation water? How do we do this and how do we do that? There was a wonderful movie many years ago of the boy who harnessed the wind, kind of made
Mm.
water out of the wind. Is that let's get behind the innovators. The amount of dedication and hours and looking at in between the molecules of understanding that goes into it and what they come out with, is like, are you willing to put in that amount of time and dedication and struggle to understand something that serves us? They are, you are. So why are we not respecting this science and this knowledge? Bottom line is, people don't want to change their lifestyle. They don't want to be accountable. They don't want to be responsible. They just want everything that's, easy at their hands. But if you want to stay on this planet and you don't want Mama Earth evicting you, then you've got to get in there and start respecting her and start giving back, which means stop demanding so much of her without her allowing her to replenish, and look at what we can do scientifically and in our participation in learning, living in harmony with Earth.
Yeah, definitely. And another piece of story here is that whatever we do in life, uh, it should be human-centered. So
Hmm.
is this whatever you do, is this good for humanity or not?
Yeah.
If it is good, that you are on the right direction, your benchmark is right, your compass is showing the right
Yes.
direction. But if it's not human-centered, if it's like self-benefit centered, then definitely it's not the right way. And whatever is happening around us, we should keep the spirit of hope
Hmm.
that one day we as believers we believe that the earth will be taken care by the good people.
Hmm.
And if the earth is living, it means that good people are still there.
The good
So
stewards. Hmm.
yeah, the good stewards
Hmm.
of the earth. So let's be that good people and good
Yes.
stewards. And let's choose this side of the history that we tried to protect
Hmm.
ourselves, to protect our children, to protect our nature,
To
rather than
protect our future.
our future, rather
Hmm.
than destroying our future,
Yes.
destroying our next generation. And you know what? In history, no one remembers the bad people, what they do, except the recent ones. But
Mm.
everyone remembers the big names who then made very good thing for the humanity,
The
uh,
innovators. Hmm.
the innovators. So
Hmm.
let's be on the right side of history, Sarah.
Yeah. We are the change we seek. We are the peace we seek. We are the love we seek. And every drop in the bucket counts. So, we have to take off the blinkers. We have to understand that you are a guest here on Mother Earth.
Yeah,
And as you should be at a guest at anyone's home, you should show respect, some consideration. And it's time to be considerate of what you are consuming. Take what you need to sustain. Stop being opulent. Stop being disrespectful. Stop being ignorant, and stop being entitled. Because nobody's entitled. We're all entitled as the human race to feed off Mother Earth. But just
yeah,
like anytime we have a good meal, we need to show gratitude, right? And so our gratitude is in how we sustain Mother Earth to look after us by looking after Mother Earth. And we have got so off balance. We came with the industrial age, and then now we've got AI, and we've got nothing wrong with AI as long as it's used properly. Every machine, every instrument that we use, ultimately it's in our hands. When we use it wisely to the benefit of, right? Not,
yeah,
not to
correct.
benefit somebody else at the expense of. And
Yeah.
so it's it is up to us, isn't it? Because we are meant to live in beautiful harmony the the music from the trees and the water and the breeze, everything about Mother Nature just is singing to us all the time. It's providing not just substance, it's providing heart, soul, and spirit fortitude. But if she's in distress, then we're in distress and we're part of the distress. And so we need to start looking at how we manage our lives and how we manage what we take and what we contribute. We need to change the mindset. And if we don't, we will be having to go to another planet to destroy that because we've destroyed this. Why don't we just take care of this one instead, right? So, so
Yeah.
bring back the balance, bring back the consideration, bring back the respect. So what is next for you? How can people get hold of you? Um, what are you doing that you can invite them to be a part of? Have you got any campaign going on Facebook right now?
Thank you. So basically, now I invite everyone to be part of the international conferences that are going on, because I organize some high level events across international conferences, and what I see is lacking is lack of the global youth or global voices of the people who are right on track. So
Mhm.
be in the room, raise your voice, and try to join those conferences to understand how the new technologies are occurring, and what are other countries doing to protect the nature. What can you do? Whenever I go, Sarah, I try to make some tutorial videos in my home
Mhm.
country language, Kurdish, for the people in my country who cannot afford going to those conferences,
Right.
and tell them that this I am in this conference in that country, and this is what I see. I see this idea. It's very nice. We can implement this in our, for the hope of that someone will watch that video and tries to get inspired by that video and try to implement it in their home country, just so that we increase the number of the guardians of our nature. So joining those, building the communities around you. You are not alone. So whatever,
Right.
don't think that you are the only person that are
No,
doing this.
we're
So
in this
just
together.
we are in this together. You
Yeah.
just need to find the right people in the right time. So try to join the forces of the communities around you, to try to create like a small group with friend, 4, 5, 6 people. Okay,
Mm,
we are trying to do this, and if we do this, then we give ourselves an award, something like that, in
mhm.
your community. It does not have to be so big, so expensive. No, vice versa. But try to do something. this
Yeah.
this this is my message, because life is going really fast.
Hmm.
It's like yesterday that we met
Yes.
in my first show. It's really time flies, and
Yes.
so time flies, but the thing that's important here is how did you use the time
Yeah.
that went, in which was it productive for you or not. Try to learn more and more about what harms the nature, and try to like increase your awareness first, then increase the awareness of your communities around you. Join international conferences is really important, because it gives you the idea of how to be a better person, a more innovative person. And this is it, because I'm not in Iraq, in Kurdistan now. So I'm just far away from the organization. There are some very nice and hardworking colleagues who are working in my communities, but I'm mostly now focused on international conferences. I will be in Korea next month to participate and organize the Climate Week in
Excellent.
Korea for the first time in Pacific region, and this is really important for bringing the voices of the Pacific people in the negotiations, and in the climate communities. And as the climate high level champion in there, we are showcasing the plans to accelerate the solutions. I think 36 plans, how we can accelerate the solutions that we have to fight the climate change. So real examples on real economy, on real ground. And this makes me really happy. So it's really good to be there to see those solutions, and you can then judge how which solution I can implement in my community.
Right.
But if you miss those chances, those conferences, then you will be just staying in your neighborhood without having an idea of what the world is going on. And in social media, we will only see the negative
Yeah.
geopolitical tensions that around you. You may be hopeless, but when you go to those conference rooms and negotiation rooms, you see that there are really good
Yes.
people out there trying to very hard to push forward and to be on the right side to make things right. Very nice scientists made very beautiful solutions, and some solutions they don't even require any money to be invested on. So you see those things, then your hope increases, and
Yes.
that's why I invite the colleagues
It's
every.
just, that awareness, when you're aware what's going on, when you're aware that there is answers, when you're aware that people are implementing those answers. We've got to remember we are an algorithm. Everything
Yeah,
is an algorithm. So don't feed the negative on social medias. The more and more that you tune in to topics like this and share them and comment on them and watch them, the more educated you're going to get, the more you start seeing how you can implement your own change, but more and more you're feeding that algorithm in the right direction. So again, choice, right? We're all on the same clock, but how are we going to use our time wisely where we are going to help this planet and each other in that sustainability? Let's feed the solutioners, the people that are
yeah.
out there that are making the difference. We already know the people that are being detrimental. Stop feeding them. Stop going down that path. Feed the solutioners, and the solutioners will bring the balance back up, and we will start seeing more equilibrium. Your YouTubes, what language are they in?
So, according to the interview that I participate, it may be in English, in Kurdish language. So I have some podcasts in English, so the colleagues can listen. Some interviews. I had a debate here in Warsaw in English. Others are in Kurdish language, so it may be hard for the international colleagues to understand. But I have some few videos in my YouTube channel explaining those facts in English. So
So, and the thing is that, okay, if you don't understand the language, you may know somebody who's Kurdish, send it to them. Let them
yeah,
listen to it, right? And, you have a Facebook and a LinkedIn. Do you post there platforms that they can go to kind of follow the work that
yeah,
you're doing?
definitely, definitely. On LinkedIn, I and Facebook, I use them professionally with just publishing my scientific articles that I publish, or interviews, or any comments about scientific comments about the nature, environment, climate change, etc. So it's all public, and if I wrote it in Kurdish, there's now a very nice button that you press it and it translates to your
Right.
language, so you can
Exactly. So there's
understand the
translation there, folks. So don't use it as an
yeah,
excuse because you can
yeah,
translate. So let's give your names for your Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. I'm going to have you spell it out for everybody. Your
yeah,
Facebook.
yeah. It's Peshang Hama Karim, PESHANG Karim. For all, it's Peshang Hama Karim. So
Right. So that's the same for your YouTube and LinkedIn. It's just Parma Karin.
yeah, yeah. So P Hama
P H
Karim.
A M
Yeah,
A
yeah.
K A R I
Han,
M.
yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. And please, he's going to put both of these shows up on his YouTube as well. But please go back and listen to the one we did 8 years ago. I was so impressed with him then, with the enthusiasm, the passion, the conviction of wanting to bring change. And I said it then, this young man is going somewhere. This man is going to be a
Thank you.
mover and a shaker. And I love the fact that you're directing it at youth. It is like when we empower the youth and empower their perspective, empower them with the knowledge, they're the applicators. they will apply that knowledge to build a better world. Right now, when you're talking to the elders, you're just trying to get them to change their mindset to get out of the way. But it's the youth that are going to be the people that will implement the change. Let's help them implement that change, because we sure need to see a better world on so many levels. We are the peace, we are the love, we are the change we seek. So let us, stop burying our head in the sand and start looking at, what can I do? What change can I make in my life? And start with one. Then you can go to 2 and to 3 and to 4. Then you start seeing an impact, and maybe you'll change more, but start somewhere. Been wonderful having you back here again, Peshang.
Thank you. Thank you. My last word, maybe, I would like to send a greeting to Alison Goldwyn, who
Yes,
introduced me to
yes,
you like 8 years ago, and I'm still connected with her. And she's really a very nice person and sends me greetings everywhere when there's a tension in my home country, and ask whether my family are good or not. So
yes,
we
she's
need
a
to keep
look.
that spirit. Thank you so much,
Yes.
Sarah.
Yeah, well,
And I
Alison
really
Goldwyn, I recently had her on with John again, talking about simple solutions, which is very good.
yeah.
And if you go to selfdiscoverywisdom.com slash shows and you look at all the genre banners there, you'll see one called Let's Get Synced. And you'll find Peshang shows there, but you'll also find all the shows I've done with Alison and all the other wonderful people, ambassadors and movers and shakers, about the mental change of climate change in order to implement climate change. And you're all doing such wonderful things for our planet. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Sarah. And I really admire you doing all this job at the same time, taking care of your granddaughter. So thank you so much, and for knowing you. And I really admire you, and you give us hope and motivation. Thank you.
Well, I just bring the people who have the solutions. People have
Thank
just
you.
got to, as my motto is, listen, learn, and apply. I
Thank you.
bring you the wisdom. Just listen, learn, and apply. We're all empowered. We're all empowered to empower our own lives and each other. So thank you, Peshang, and to everyone else out there. Please be the change that we seek, because it is our very survival here on Earth. So until next time, bye for now. We hope that you enjoyed the show. There are so many more for you to listen to right here on selfdiscoverywisdom.com. Come and hear the illumination that's going to shed light on your path.
Find your path with the knowledge of others.